estás? Welcome to the Keeping It Real podcast with Sulma, the swearing therapist. Hi, I'm Sulma Williams, a licensed clinical social worker who likes to keep it real and swears a lot. Today, I would like to address the topic of imposter syndrome. It's by request, so thank you for the ideas, and please email me with your requests and what would you like me to talk about. I'll be reading a lot because I have imposter syndrome myself. But when I went over the cognitive distortions, I like to keep it as clinical, if you would, as possible, but also I'm going to incorporate my own shit as I always do. So what is imposter syndrome? It is when you doubt your own skills and successes. You feel you're not as talented or worthy as others believe, and you are scared that one day people are going to find out. So despite you being successful at work or in a school, you are like, no, they're going to find out that I'm a fraud and I'm not really all that. So how does it manifest? You believe that others are more skilled than you are. You discount your own successes. You believe that everyone knows more than you. You feel like you always had to do your very best or more than was asked of you. So you are an overachiever in order to kind of like do what it needs to get done. You feel very uncomfortable being praised. You hold yourself back from reaching goals, so you don't want to be considered as conceited, or like you think that you are all that shit. You have a very hard time forgetting your own mistakes. You're supposed to be perfect. There is, as a recovered perfectionist, and I mentioned this in other episodes, if I didn't get an A, if I didn't get 100%, even if I got 96%, why didn't I get 100%, although it's an A? Or why did I get a B? Oh my God, if I got a B or an A minus, like what the fuck is wrong with me, right? And there are people who will fucking kill for a C, right? Like, but here I am questioning myself because I didn't get 100%. You feel that you wouldn't doubt yourself if you were brighter, smarter, better, but your goals are so unrealistic that you can never reach them. So your expectations of yourself are like over here on the roof, and your expectations of other people are down to the bottom, right? Like, so it's like, what the fuck? Like, you have completely unrealistic expectations of yourself. So some of the characteristics are, as I said, perfectionism, fear of failure, denying your wins. Oh no, I was lucky. No, bitch, you were fucking studying your ass off all this time. That's not luck, that's preparation. So denying your wins, and also is a huge component of fear of success. We always talk about the fear of failure, but we understand that, but there is this real thing that is the fear of success. What will happen if I'm successful, right? Like, are people still going to like me? Are they going to think that I'm all that? Are they going to think that I'm conceited? Whatever it might be, right? So there is a test. I didn't know this, but there is a test, and that you can take is, it says the Clan's Imposter Phenomenon Scale is a list of 20 short questions I'm not sure if you can find it for free online, but that's something that you can research on your own if you are interested in that. Um, what are some of the causes of imposter syndrome? How you were raised has a lot to do. Culture of our parents, like being like imposing that perfectionism in ourselves. The cultural part of, we talk about birth order, right? Like if you are the firstborn, you had to be perfect. You had to be, you are an overachiever. The fact that you are expected to excel in everything that you do. Uh, Another characteristic is personality traits, right? Like several traits have been linked to imposter syndrome, including anxiety, low self-esteem, and perfectionism. Again, feeling like an outsider, in a sense of like, if you're in a competitive workplace and you're not competitive, you're gonna be like, oh my god, like I'm an imposter, and they are gonna eventually find out because you are not cutthroats like the other motherfuckers you work with. Some of the examples I have found online are um, imposter syndrome at work. You think that your career success is due to luck instead of your skills and hard work. Um, there is imposter syndrome at school. You might not speak up or ask questions because you are afraid you're going to be judged by your peers. In a romantic relationship, you can feel unworthy of love from your partner. In a friendship, you might question why someone wanted to be friends with you. Um, if you have a child, like you might feel you're not prepared to raise a child, be a good parent. And I have found from personal and professional experience that imposter syndrome is, so it can affect anybody, but it's more prevalent in women. If, let me give you an example. A man goes to a job interview and he doesn't get hired. Yeah, and I'm super overgeneralizing, but bear with me. The man will think like, oh, it's their loss. Fuck these motherfuckers. They didn't appreciate what I had to offer. A woman goes to a job interview. She doesn't get hired. She starts questioning, what could I have? Is it was my fault? Why didn't I answer the questions correctly? What could I have done differently? Like she puts it on herself while the man puts it on the company, right? Like, so I think that we are wired so differently, where it's like, no matter what, if I am a woman and because I'm a woman, I have to prove myself time and time again. So, high achieving professionals who are females bring like this to my office all the time, where like they have fucking proven record of their capacity, and yet they get so nervous before a presentation or something at work or in a romantic relationship. So I will invite you to fucking own your shit. Yes, you are all that and a bag of chips. What the fuck is wrong with recognizing how good you are, how passionate you are about something, your capacity to learn and to make mistakes and learn from your mistakes and do better next time? Right? Like, how that does that make you an imposter? How did the fucking 96% instead of 100 make me feel like less than? Like, bitch, you fucking listen. I got a 4.0 GPA in my master's degree. My fucking diploma wasn't bigger than anyone else's. My diploma wasn't bigger than the one who barely fucking passed with a C and graduated anyway. And guess what? Are you ready for this? I failed the first time I took the clinical exam. So all that perfectionism and I need to be perfect and the 4.0, I wiped my ass with it because it didn't help me when I took the licensing exam for the first time. And that's another thing I like to. So I was devastated. This was the first exam in my entire career, the most important one, that I failed. It was so humbling because I really saw I was all that and a bag of chips before I took the exam. And then I was stunned when I didn't pass. But it didn't stop me from continuing. So like I 3 months later, I took it again and I passed, and then I completed my hours and I became independently licensed. But what I want to point is that we think we need to be these perfect creatures, and what make us special and qualify are our imperfections. So if you are feeling left behind in your career, in your life, in your studies, in remember, I started my bachelor of social work at 42 and my master's at 50. It's never too late. So what the fuck are you waiting for? If you want to go learn something, go for it. Like, what is stopping you? Right? Like, so what helps with this? What helps overcome this? Therapy, of course, not because I'm a therapist, but because when we start digging into this shit and we recognize that it has nothing to do with us per se. It's like, oh, the cultural impositions, the our own inability to recognize our capacity, the fact that men and women are wired differently. So here are a couple of tips, if you would, to kind of like start practicing in addition to therapy to overcome this shit. Start reminding yourself of your wins. And it's okay that you recognize your wins. Like, we are so fucking concerned with like, oh, I don't want to see, I don't want people to think that I'm conceited or what. Bitch, like, you're killing it at work. Recognize that. It's because you fucking work your ass off. You're killing it at a school is because you're fucking studying and dedicating yourself to what you're learning. So don't say, oh, it's because I'm lucky. No, it's because you're putting your heart and soul into what you are doing. Separate your feelings from the facts. The next time that you feel self-doubt, remind yourself that these are emotions, no facts. So the fact that you are feeling that you are not capable, is that a reality? That is a fucking feeling, but that doesn't mean that it's true. This is a hard one, especially for women, and especially for women who are perfectionists. As I said before, a recover perfectionist. Be kind to yourself. Recognize your wins. Don't be like putting yourself down every time that you make a mistake. You don't need to be perfect to love yourself. Like, again, your imperfections make you who you are. So be kind to yourself. I always say, like, compassion is not complete if it doesn't include ourselves. So self-compassion is as important. Oh, I'm a very compassionate person. I feel for everybody. Bitch, do you feel for yourself? Like, where are you in that list? Or I feel for everybody. And I'm compassionate towards everybody but myself. Practice accepting praise. Oh, I know I'm fucking touching some fibers here. When somebody gives you a compliment, great job. Oh, don't worry about it. Instead of saying that, say thank you. And sit with the uncomfortable feeling of wanting to say, oh, thank you, no big deal, or thank you, I was lucky, or thank you. No, just say thank you and sit with the uncomfortable feeling of not justifying or diminishing the compliment. Trust me, the more you do it, the easier it's going to become. But you have to start practicing that. When someone gives you a compliment, say thank you and just leave it at that. Don't compare yourself to others. So comparison, right? Like only compare yourself to yourself. Are you doing better than you did a year ago, a month ago, a week ago? Are you doing better than yesterday? When you compare yourself to others, you are always going to feel that you're not enough. Because if you say, because we always compare with someone who is in a better position than us, right? Like, oh, I'm renting a house, and my neighbor owns the house, and so I'm less than. I'm now comparing myself to the homeless person who will not care that I'm renting because I have a roof over my head, right? Like, so we have that natural tendency, we all do it. We compare to people who are better than us, but we never compare ourselves to people who have it worse than us. So if we're going to fucking compare, forget others and recognize your own progress. So we want progress over perfection. You're not there yet. So of course you're going to continue to make mistakes. So fucking what? You're making mistakes because you are trying something rather than the person who is there and is not going to fucking move or make progress because they are terrified of taking the steps. So be kind to yourself, recognize your wins, appreciate what you bring to the table. We are all different and we are all needed. So please send me a message or comment in here and tell me if this resonated with you. If you do feel like you are experiencing this, and seek the assistance of a professional. As I always say, you don't have to go through this alone. Whatever the fuck you are going through in life, you don't have to do it alone. So reach out, ask me questions, give me suggestions, and I hope that you found this helpful. Please like, subscribe to the podcast, follow me on Instagram at the Swearing Therapist, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.